Before moving to the sympathetic system, we need to spend a moment getting to know one particular vagal pathway, known as the vagal brake. This pathway forms a connection with the heart's pacemaker, called the sinoatrial node. Running from the brainstem to the heart, it's through this connection that our heart rhythms are regulated. This ventral vagal pathway slows our heart rate to a healthy number of beats per minute. And without the regulating influence of this ventral vagal pathway, our hearts would beat dangerously fast. Because of the ways this pathway slows our heart rate, it's been named the vagal brake. And like all good braking mechanisms, this pathway also releases to allow our hearts to speed up when we need more energy to meet a challenge. A good way to get a sense of how the vagal brake works is to think about the handbrakes on a bicycle. Imagine you're riding a bike down a hill and you want to go just a little faster. You release the brakes a bit and feel the wheels spin faster. Then when you want to slow down again, you squeeze the brakes just a bit. The vagal pathway to your heart doesn't actually physically disconnect and reconnect the way the brakes on your bicycle do. Instead, it becomes more active or less active, releasing, relaxing, re-engaging through the use of electrical signals and neurotransmitters. What the vagal brake does is to allow us to feel and use some of the sympathetic nervous system's mobilizing energy without moving out of the regulation of our ventral vagal system into sympathetic fight and flight survival. As the vagal brake relaxes just a bit, the energy in the sympathetic system is felt more strongly, mobilizing our system. And then as the vagal brake re-engages, we return to feeling less of that mobilizing energy of the sympathetic system. To get a sense of this, stand and imagine that you have one foot in ventral and the other foot in sympathetic. You can have one foot in front of the other or your feet spread apart side by side. And now play with shifting your weight between your feet. Still keep both feet on the ground as you shift back and forth. Remember, even as you shift more towards the foot that's in sympathetic, you still have your other foot firmly placed in ventral. This subtle pattern of your vagal brake relaxing and re-engaging actually happens with every breath cycle. On each inhalation, the brake relaxes just a bit, allowing a slight speeding up at the heart, and then re-engages on the exhalation, and the heart rate returns to a slower beat. Let's try combining inhale, exhale with shifting your weight. Inhale and shift a bit toward the foot that's in sympathetic. Exhale and shift back so more of your weight is with the foot in ventral. Feel the rhythm as you move on your own through several breath cycles. With the vagal brake relaxing but not fully releasing, we have access to a range of responses, including feeling calm, engaged, joyful, excited, passionate, playful, attentive, alert, and watchful, all while still under the regulation of the ventral vagal system. Without the vagal brake, we lose our anchor in the ventral vagal state of safety and connection, and move into the sympathetic nervous system's protective states of fight and flight. So let's experiment with shifting our weight again. Go to the edge of balancing between your 2 feet, to the point where you're almost totally standing on the foot that's in sympathetic. Feel what happens as you begin to lose your balance. And now find your way back to the balance between your 2 feet. Bring yourself back to feeling the ground under the foot that's in ventral. And now shift your weight to be almost fully with the foot that's anchored in your ventral system. Your foot and sympathetic just lightly touching the ground, and feel what happens here. And then shift your weight to be almost fully with the foot that's anchored in ventral. Your foot and sympathetic just lightly touching the ground. Feel what happens here. Experiment with the ways your vagal brake allows sympathetic energy in and then helps you return to calm. The vagal brake holds the boundary between ventral and sympathetic.